We are live. Welcome, guys, back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. I'm Timothy Earle. Yes, we're starting just a little bit early today. I need to do that. I guess I didn't have that ready to go. Twitter is not available at the moment. Well, I guess I'll figure that out in a minute. So we'll be live from the YouTube channels. No Twitter today. But before we jump into today's card, which is a full card of baseball, because that's all we're going to have for a while now. And we'll roll with it. We're going to look back at yesterday, which was a losing day. I liked my plays from yesterday, just didn't ultimately work out. Down 1.65 units. We had the Texas Rangers, who got shut out. We had the Yankees, who lost 6-1. We had the Braves on the run line, which, of course, trying to fade my Mets, and it doesn't work because the Braves are useless. They only win by one run. And then Seattle wins by the run line, wins 11-2. Cal Raleigh continues to go crazy. Cal Raleigh's my MVP pick in the American League, but that's beyond the point. We'll have plenty of plays for today. I know yesterday was kind of a light day, but we'll go ahead and we'll jump into it. And I do apologize, guys, for not having a show the past. For yesterday, I had no Wi-Fi. It's kind of hard to do a show when you have no Wi-Fi, but I am back today. I know it's an earlier show, 9 a.m. I have to go into work, but I wanted to make sure I did a show today. And then we'll be good for the rest of the week. But let's go ahead and jump into the card. We'll start off with the Rangers and the Orioles. The Orioles are minus 130 favorites, 125 area with a total of 10. We get Jacob Latz pitching for the Rangers and Morton pitching for the Orioles. Latz this year, okay, he's a reliever, so I'm not overly concerned. Although he did go 5 2/3 innings in his last appearance, which was a relief appearance. So I guess they're working him up to full time. He did make one start against the Nationals. I'm not really going crazy about that. That doesn't really matter to me. So I'm not really going to go big into detail with him. On the opposite side, you got Charlie Morton, who's also been a big bullpen guy this year, but obviously we know that he can start games. He's actually been pretty good his last couple of starts. He started his last 5. He had one bad start in Oakland or Sacramento. Other than that, he's allowed 3 earned runs in his other 4 starts. So he's actually been getting better as of late. He's pitching better. And the Orioles have actually won 5 straight of his appearances, his starts, which is actually quite impressive to see after how awful he was to begin the year. Maybe Charlie Morton could be an easy, a possible trade candidate for the Orioles because I know he's a rental piece. They didn't sign him for long. I think they signed him for 1 year. A quick look at hitting stats. Texas against righties, 26th in baseball, so bottom 5 at a 89 WRC plus. We'll look at lefty numbers for the Orioles, which they are working their way up. They're now 25th, so it's not great, but they were like third to last for a while. So I look at this one, pitching advantage. I'm not going to give anybody a pitching advantage just because Latz is a bullpen game, and I'm not giving it to Morton. Hitting advantage, I believe it's slightly with Texas, so nothing crazy. We'll go ahead and take a look at the line movement where it opened up at Baltimore minus 130. Now it's down to minus 125 and no line movement on the total. We'll go ahead and take a look at, we're going to look at today, not college football. There we go. We got 66% of the bets, 53% of the money is on the Orioles. The line's moving semi towards the Rangers. I'm not going to touch a side in this one. I wanted to kind of go towards the under, but with a bunch of money and everything coming on it, I'm going to end up just staying off this game to start off the day. No real interest in me to get started in the Orioles game. So this one will be a pass. I know that there's not going to be a lot of chat today, so it's going to be a little bit more of a faster paced show. Eric Lauer and Logan Allen are pitching today for Toronto and Cleveland. It's about a pick 'em. Slight favorites are Toronto 9 total. Lauer this year, the Blue Jays have won 4 out of his last 5 appearances. Granted, he's been more of a bullpen guy. He's made 10 appearances, 4 starts, a 3-1 record, a 2.29 ERA, 35 and a third innings pitched, 9 earned runs, 11 walks, and 36 strikeouts. So he's going to go. He did go 5 innings in his last appearance, so he can go a little bit into the game, but probably nothing too crazy. Logan Allen, 14 appearances, 13 starts, 5-4 record, 4.21 ERA. 66 in the third innings pitched, 31 earned runs, 30 walks, and 50 strikeouts. Needs to get those walks down. A walk every 2 innings is not great. But he's been fine. His last 3 starts, last 2 starts, he's allowed 2 each. He allowed 4 against Houston, but Houston's been hitting pretty well, especially against lefties. So I would say pitching advantage, in my opinion, towards Logan Allen, even though he's got slightly higher of an ERA, he's been a starting pitcher more of the year. Both of them are lefties, where Toronto has a hitting advantage. 114 WRC plus for Toronto. Cleveland's all the way bottom 5 at 74. So hitting advantage towards the Blue Jays. So it makes sense why the Blue Jays are favored in this game. We go ahead and look at the line movement. Line's gone in the favor of Toronto from a dog to a favorite. And I believe that's where we're going to go in today's game. We're going to start off our card with the Toronto Blue Jays. I can get it at a minus 115. Where is it? There it is. We're going to take the Toronto Blue Jays in today's game. So let's roll with that. There you go. Starting off the day with the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's keep on rolling. We got the Oakland Athletics and the Detroit Tigers. It's let's see, minus 295 for the Tigers with a total of 7. Of course, it's Mr. Tariq Skubal versus Luis Severino. I will say Sevy has looked better his last 2 starts, but his previous 2 starts were ugly. 16 starts this year, a 2-7 record, a 4.42 ERA, 95 and 2/3 innings pitched. So he's just going to eat innings. 47 earned runs, 29 walks, 66 strikeouts. He has not been really the same guy that he was last year with the Mets. But when you're pitching in a ballpark that is significantly worse to pitch in, it makes sense. Tariq Skubal is the best pitcher in baseball right now. I will die on that hill. He is 15 starts, an 8-2 record, 2.06 ERA. He's got a complete game in there. 96 innings pitched, 22 earned runs, 12 walks, 117 strikeouts. And this team just wins when he's on the mound. He's made 15 starts. In his last 13, they've lost 2 of them. One of them was a 1-0 game where he got a no decision because he let up no runs that game. And the other one was an extra inning game where he allowed 2 runs. So Tariq Skubal is an absolute animal. But we know that already. We'll look at the hitting stats. Athletics are one of 10 teams that are positive against lefties, 104 WRC plus. Tigers against righties, 105. So hitting advantage is about the same. Huge pitching advantage for the Tigers. And then Lines moved from 260 to 292, so that makes sense considering that all of the money is on the Detroit Tigers. I'm going to take the Tigers if I can get a good line on it. Let's see. Can I get a decent line? I can get their run line at minus 115. And I love whenever Tyreek Skubal pitches, the way I look at it, when I'm betting a Detroit Tigers run line, in my opinion, it's more like I'm betting their team total over, say, 2.5. I feel like if they get 3 runs, they cover. So that's the way I look at it. So I was able to get minus 115 on the run line for the Detroit Tigers. So that's where I'm going to go here, Detroit. Hey, Tim, let's cash. Let's do it, Kaywin. Let's do it. We'll keep on rolling. Ugly game yesterday. Hated every single moment of it. The Braves and the Mets. The Braves are minus 140, as they should be. 9 total. Spencer Strider versus Frankie Montas. Guys, why are we punching so many games? This is stupid. Spencer Strider is coming back from injury. He is coming off of 6 one-run innings with 8 strikeouts against the Mets in his last start. He's pitched 7 times this year to a 2-5 record. Of course, one of his wins is against the Mets. 3.89 ERA, 37 innings pitched, 16 earned runs, 13 walks, and 45 strikeouts. Montas this year, it's his first start. And can I just say that in the minor leagues, he was absolute dog shit. So I don't know why he's making the. Let me pull up his minor league numbers from this year because they have not been pretty. If I can get his minor league numbers. Can I actually get his minor league stats? Because they have not been great this year. I know he had like a 12 ERA. It was stupid. Like he has not been great. Game logs. There's no game logs this year. Cool. He's not been great. I'm not overly excited about it. We'll go ahead and take a look at what these two teams are doing against righties. Mets are 5th WRC plus 116 and for WRC plus. Atlanta is at 101. So hitting advantage Mets, pitching advantage towards the Braves. I have a feeling I know where I want to go in this game, but we'll see. Line's gone from Braves minus 138 to 141, so 3 cents towards the Braves. 5 cents towards the under, but I'm not going to be concerned with that one. A lot of money and everything's coming in on the under. I'm taking the over here. I'm taking the over in the Mets game. I think the Mets hit versus Strider, and I think Frankie Montas gets teed off on. Like, I don't even think Montas has a good start at all today. I still don't understand why he's pitching besides injuries. So I'm going to fade him in this one. Mets top 5 WRC plus versus right-handed pitcher. So over 8.5 at minus 108 is where we're going to go in this one for the Mets and the Bravos. I was able to get one. Oh, there we go. We'll keep on rolling, and I'm excited for this game because it's the Yankees and the Reds. Carlos Rodon. I don't know why I'd say Nick Martinez because I believe it's Chase Burns pitching today for the Reds. Show me. Yep, Chase Burns making his major league debut. He was an absolute stud. I believe he was 4th in the draft. I believe he was selected 4th by the Reds, 3rd or 4th, something in that range. I don't remember exactly what number he was, but he was crazy. And he's already up. I still remember my favorite memory of him when he allowed that 3-run bomb to Dixon Williams in the regionals, but hey, who knows? But no stats for him. Carlos Rodon this year, 16 starts, a 9-5 record, 3.1 ERA, 95 2/3 innings pitched, 33 earned runs, 33 walks, 114 strikeouts. Rodon's been great. We'll look at both these two teams' stats. Reds versus lefties are not really hitting them. 76 WRC plus, which is 24th in baseball. Yankees, 118 WRC plus versus righty. So hitting advantage towards the Yankees. I'm not giving a pitching advantage, hitting advantage is towards Rodon. But I'm excited to see what Birds has. Now, we'll look at the line movement. And the line is moved 5 cents towards the under and 1 cent towards the Yankees. So nothing crazy there. Considering a bunch of the money's on the Yankees and everything, I really wanted to take the Reds. But with hitting and pitching advantage both on it, I have no interest in really doing all that. I am going to take the under in this game. I think Chase Burns has a really good start. And then Rodon shuts down the Reds. So let's go under here. I can get under 9.5. I believe at minus 114. Yeah, minus 114 is going to be the best number. So let me grab the under between the Yankees and the Reds. There we go. Very early show. Yes. I have to go into work a little bit earlier today, so I wanted to be able to get a show done because with not doing the shows on the weekends and my Wi-Fi and not having any Wi-Fi yesterday, which was a lot of fun. I wanted to do a show. I decided to do an early show today. I know you're being sarcastic with that. Guards money line. No, I'm on the Blue Jays today. I'm on the Blue Jays today. Let's keep on rolling. Pirates and the Brewers. Where is it? Brewers are minus 200 favorites with a total of 7.5. Andrew Heaney and Freddie Peralta. Heaney's going to be a fun piece at the deadline. Although he got blown out for 7 runs, it was against the Detroit Tigers. I'm not concerned about it. So I think he's going to be just fine. So no concerns for that. He's made 15 appearances, a 3-6 record, a 3.94 ERA. When you're looking for starting pitcher, that's solid enough. 82 and a third innings pitched, 36 earned runs, 27 walks, and 61 strikeouts. I really like Andrew Heaney. Freddie Peralta is another guy, although we're not going to see him on the move because the Brewers have been playing some really good baseball. 16 starts, 7-4 record, a 2.76 ERA in 88 innings pitched, 27 earned runs, 34 walks, and 90 strikeouts. He's been one of the best pitchers in the league so far this season. So no complaints with him either. So really like this pitching matchup. Obviously, pitching advantage towards the Brewers and Freddie Peralta. Brewers versus lefties, 91 WRC plus, which is middle of the pack. Pittsburgh, 82 WRC plus versus righties. So hitting and pitching advantage towards the Milwaukee Brewers. Let's take a look at line movement. Line's gone from minus 205 to minus 200. So slight line movement towards the Pirates. Line is moving towards the over just a tad. Nothing I need to get involved with. Obviously, I would probably lean under in this one and probably look toward the dog, but nothing that I need to get involved with in this game. Let's switch this because the next up we got is the Mariners at the Twins. It's a pick'em with a total of 8.5. Who did we get for the pitching matchup? Luis Castillo and Chris Paddock. Luis Castillo, 15 starts, a 4-5 record, a 3.38 ERA, 85 and a third innings pitched, 32 earned runs, 28 walks, and 72 strikeouts. Luis Castillo is another solid arm. Chris Paddock, honestly, could be a guy I could also see getting dealt at the deadline. 15 starts, a 3-6 record, a 4.48 ERA, 80 and a third innings pitched, 40 earned runs, 23 walks, and 56 strikeouts. He let up 8 runs to Houston in Houston, but other than that, he's been pretty solid as of late. And he's been getting the job done for this Minnesota team. Now, Minnesota has lost 9 out of their last 10 games, so they are starting to struggle, and they are 4 games under 500. That's why I mentioned the possibility of some players from the Twins starting to get rumored to getting moved. Keep in mind, it is a very weak American League, so I'm not going to rule out anybody right now. The fact that who's in that final wild card right? Seattle's in the final wild card spot at 3 games over 500. If they were in the National League, they would be a game, 2.5 games back of the wild card, or 2 games back of the wild card if they were in it, and they're in the last spot right now. Just shows how weak the American League is. But this is a Mariners team that's looked great as of late. Behind who else? Cal Raleigh, my personal MVP. We'll look at the hitting stats for this one. Seattle, 4th in hitting against right-handed pitching, 117 WRC plus. Twins sitting at, where are they? 13th, 104. So there is a hitting advantage towards the Seattle Mariners. Hitting and pitching advantage towards Seattle in this one. In terms of line movement slightly towards them. Can I get another book that might have a little bit more? That's not the right game. Might have a little bit more line movement. Line's moving towards Seattle. I'm going to take the Mariners here. I'm going to continue to fade the Twinkies. They just have not looked great as of late. I can get minus 105 for the Seattle Mariners. I can get one up in the 160s for their run line, but I'm just going to do their money line for today. So I'm going to ride with that. Hitting. Seattle, money line. Let's roll. And if you want to grab Raleigh over bases or something like that, let's roll with Raleigh props too. Let's head to the Rays and the Royals. The Royals are minus 135 in this one, which is a little bit surprising. Although it's not. I see who's pitching. With a total of 8.5. Taj Bradley, Chris Bubik. Bradley this year, a 4.95 ERA in 15 starts, a 4-5 record, 8 innings pitched, 44 earned runs, 34 walks, and 73 strikeouts. He is coming off of a little bit of a rough game and allowed 6 earned runs and 1 in the third innings versus the Baltimore Orioles. Maybe a bounce-back spot for him against Chris Bubik, who has been one of the best pitchers in baseball. 14 starts, a 6-4 record. How about a 2.12 ERA, and 85 innings pitched, 20 earned runs, 26 walks, and 88 strikeouts. I really like Bubich. I remember the Boob versus Cooch matchups the last couple of years were always fun. Pitching advantage 100% towards the Kansas City Royals. Hitting numbers. Tampa Bay versus lefties is, we're up here, 13th, 94 WRC plus. Royals versus righties are 87 WRC plus. So it's hitting advantage, Rays. So split 50-50 with hitting and pitching numbers. Then we got some line movement, which lines moved 4 cents towards the Royals, and the lines moving towards the under. I really like Bubic. Just not something I'm gonna get over. Not something I want to get involved with. This one's gonna be another stay away spot for me. Don't need to bet every single game when I already have 5 baseball plays halfway through the card. I was looking at the Diamondbacks run line yesterday. Never pulled the trigger. Should have. We get Nelson versus Leisure. Nelson this year, 16 appearances, 6 starts, 4-2 record, 3.88 ERA, 55 2/3 innings pitch. So he is starting to get stretched. Last couple appearances, 5 2/3, 5, 3, 4, 6 2/3, 5. So he is going a little bit more distance. But I'm not going to go crazy with his stats. On the opposite side, you got Leisure, which I'm guessing, yes, it's a bullpen game for the White Sox. Woof. So 2 bullpen games. I will say the White Sox have one of the worst hitting against either side. White Sox are the worst against righties. Colorado is better than them now against righties. Hitting advantage, D-backs, obviously. Pitching advantage, D-backs. Probably not going to be enough to get involved. Although, I don't know what the hell the line movement is. I'm guessing there was a pitching change of some sort, but minus 155 to minus 120 for Arizona. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I would love to go after the White Sox. I'm not going to. Not going to just yet. So this one's going to be another stay away spot for me. So yeah, not really anything to get involved with in this game. Let's keep rolling. Cubs and the Cardinals. Cubs are minus 120 with a total of 9. We've got Jameson Taillon versus McGreevy. Nice. Taillon, 15 starts, 7-4 record, a 3.84 ERA, 86 2/3 innings pitched, 37 earned runs, 17 walks, and 67 strikeouts. It's been solid enough for that for the middle of the rotation. I believe McGreevy is. Oh no, he's making starts. 5 2/3 in a relief outing. 6 innings and 5 innings. He's been good. He allowed 4 runs to the Dodgers, but other than that, he's allowed only 5 runs in 16 innings. So he's looked good, and I'm still going to give the pitching advantage to Taillon just because McGreevy has not pitched enough for me to give it to him. Both these two teams are facing righties. Cubs, 116 WRC plus, 106 for St. Louis. Hitting and pitching advantage for the Chicago Cubbies. We go and we look at the line movement, and the line has not moved. Let's go look at DraftKings to see if they have any movement. No real movement in this one. But that doesn't really matter to me because if you look at the money, money's coming in on the Cubs. I'm going to take the Cubs here just because I like the hitting and pitching advantage for them. I can get minus 118? Minus 118 for the Cubbies today. I'm gonna trust him here. Cool. Let's keep on rolling. We got 4 games left on today's card. We're going to head to Houston, where the Astros are hosting the Phillies. By the way, I'm seeing 4 games left, and I'm seeing 5. No pitcher for the Dodgers yet, so I can't do a breakdown on that one. Ranger Suarez versus Framber Valdez, which I really like this pitching matchup. I think it's a lot of fun. Ranger Suarez, 2.21 ERA, amongst 9 starts, only 9 starts this year. 6-1 record, 57 and a third innings pitched, 14 earned runs, 14 walks, 52 strikeouts. Solid. Also solid. Framber Valdez. 3.09 ERA in 15 starts, an 8-4 record. 2 complete games. Granted, one of them was in a losing effort, I believe. Yes, one of them was in a losing effort. 96 innings pitched, 33 earned runs, 33 walks, 99 strikeouts. He has been nothing but solid for these 2 pitchers have been nothing but solid. In terms of hitting advantage, by the way, I'm going to give the pitching advantage to Framber Valdez because he's pitched a tiny bit more this year. 131 WRC plus for Houston against lefty. That's number 1 in baseball. Philly is 9th at 109 WRC plus. So pitching and hitting advantage towards the Houston Astros today. If we can get the line movement in our direction, we're going to be grabbing the Houston Astros. We are grabbing the Houston Astros. They've started at minus 120. They're up to minus 140. I know a lot of people will see that big of a line movement and say that there's no value left. I could still get plus money on the run line, so that's what matters to me. I can get plus 155 for the Houston Astros on the run line. I'm going to back Valdez and the number 1 offense versus left-handed pitcher. Astros run line. Let's run it. We'll head to the next one. We got the Red Sox and the Angels. We've got a 8 total with a total of 9. Garrett Crochet and Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson's a guy that I think could get traded. But that being said, the Angels are only 2 games under 500, and they're right there with the wild card race. They're only 2.5 games back of a wild card spot, which is just hilarious. Just shows how bad the National League, the American League is, considering that 2 games back is 2 games under is 2.5 games back. It would be 4 games back in the National League. So just kind of proves the difference. But Garrett Crochet and Tim Anderson. Garrett Crochet has been fantastic. 16 starts, a 7-4 record, 2.2 ERA, 102 in the third innings pitched, 25 earned runs, 28 walks, and 125 strikeouts. I believe he currently leads the league in strikeouts, Garrett Crochet. He's been an absolute tank this year. On the opposite side, you got Tim Anderson, who I still think could be a decent trade piece. 15 starts, a 2-5 record, a 4.56 ERA, and 81 innings pitched, 41 earned runs, 28 walks, and 65 strikeouts. So a guy that's been pretty freaking solid. For an Angels team that's not great, let's be honest. He's been one of the better spots in the rotation. I'm not saying he's great. He's just been one of the better spots. But pitching advantage 100% towards the Red Sox. In terms of hitting, Boston is 4th in WRC plus. It's 119. And the Angels are 22nd, 80. So huge pitching advantage for both. A huge hitting and pitching advantage for the Red Sox in both sides. In terms of line movement, it's not in their direction. Lines opened up at the lines actually moved a bunch since I typed up the lines, down to like a 160 for the Red Sox. So that's going to cause me to hit the brakes because I was looking at the Red Sox before the game started, or before I started breaking it down. It's probably not the right side. Also considering that 80% of the money and 80% of the tickets, 82% of the money is on the Red Sox, and the line's moving the way it is. It's probably Angels or nothing. But I'm going to end up going with nothing. Zippo. Zilch. Nada. Fill this in. Cool. And done. Cool. We got 2 games left. We got the Washington Nationals and the San Diego Padres. Padres are minus 160 with a total of 8.5. You get Trevor Williams and Burgess. Williams this year, 15 starts and 3-8 record. 5.54 ERA, 74 and 2/3 innings pitched, 46 earned runs, 18 walks, and 58 strikeouts. He has not been great. Let's be honest. He has not been great. Burgess this year is a reliever. That's why his ERA is so great. He's pitched in 8 games. 4 of them were starts. Actually, he's gone 5, 5 1/3, 5, and 4 2/3 his last 4 appearances. So he is starting to build up into a little bit more of a starter. But he's been good in the starts. I'm going to give the pitching advantage to Burgess just because Trevor Williams has been that bad. In terms of hitting advantage, I believe it's San Diego. San Diego's got 104 WRC plus. Washington's got 98. So, yeah, hitting advantage towards the San Diego Padres. Could this possibly be a cash cow? No, because the line's moved 5 cents towards the Nationals. Another game I'm not going to get involved with. I have a decent amount of plays on today's card already, so I am kind of happy with that. But the line movement is going to keep me off of it, especially with all the money coming in on the Padres, and it's not moved that way, which is really, really weird. So I'm going to just stay off this game. It is a lean towards the Padres for me, but nothing crazy. Final game. We got the Miami Marlins and the San Francisco Giants. Cal Quantrill and Justin Verlander. Quantrill this year, yikes. He has not been the same since his Cleveland days. Because he had a good 2021, good 2022, and he's been rough since. 12 starts, a 3-6 record, a 5.63 ERA, 54 1/3 innings pitched, 34 runs, 17 walks, and 40 strikeouts. Not great. Justin Verlander has also not been super great. 11 starts, an 0-4 record, 4.45 ERA, and 56 2/3 innings pitched, 28 runs, 22 walks, and 47 strikeouts. He's been he looks like he's getting older. His fastball velocity is down, but his stuff is still moving. Velocity is just down. I'm going to give the pitching advantage to Verlander, but it's not anything I want to do. San Fran, 19th in WRC plus versus righties, 100. Marlins are 95. So hitting and pitching advantage technically towards the San Francisco Giants. And the lines moved 15 cents towards the Marlins. I'm going to close out my card with another pass. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays on today's MLB card. I'm happy with that. So that's going to be it for the baseball today. I will say there is, WNBA up on the site already. If you guys are watching on the Picks and Parleys YouTube channel, all of our plays are up on the site. We are the number 2 capper for 2025. So far in 2025, we are 903 and 916. So 13 games under 500, but we're up 22-37. That's the power plus money for you. So if you guys are interested in jumping on that, all the WNBA plays are up. But let's roll with it. But that is everything for today's card. I will be back again, most likely normal time tomorrow, 10:30, with another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Peace out, guys.